The alignment of these nitrogenous bases along a strand, a DNA strand, that is what we call a base sequence, and that particular base sequence is a code, okay? And that particular code, it determines the particular amino acid that is going to be formed. Or let me put it differently, that specific codes within a strand of a DNA molecule will dictate the type of protein that will be formed, will dictate the type of amino acid that will be linked, in turn, which will form a protein molecule. An amino acid is basically a building unit of a protein molecule. Just like the building unit of a carbohydrate is glucose, okay, or a monosaccharide. So the building unit of a protein molecule is an amino acid, okay. So if you combine many amino acids together, you form a protein molecule. So these amino acids will determine the type of protein that will be formed, and the type of amino acid that is linked will be determined or will be dictated by the code that is along a DNA strand. So that is important for you to know, okay. After that, let me introduce you when, for instance, let me give you this. When, for instance, you have 3 base sequences, or let me put it differently, you have a combination of 3 bases. You have a triplet base. Of course, you know triplet, tri means 3. You have a triplet base. That is, for instance, A. A denotes adenine. It represents adenine. So you've got adenine, 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 or thiamine, thiamine, thiamine. So a collection of a triplet base forms something that we call a codon. I repeat that again. A collection of 3 bases, forms a codon, okay? And this particular codon will determine the type of amino acid that will be linked to it, which in turn will form a specific type of a protein molecule. Let me tell you what that means. Let's take AAA, just what I've said right now. AAA, that is a codon on its own. So if you take that particular codon AAA, that codon, it will link, or it will be linked to a specific amino acid, and that specific amino acid is called lysine, okay? That specific amino acid will be called lysine. So lysine will only be formed where there is this particular codon called AAA. Where we have AAA, the only amino acid that will be linked to that particular codon is what? Lysine. Another example, when we have a codon, let's take T. T, remember, T stands for thiamine. So when you have a combination of 3 T's, that is 3 thiamine molecules, that will dictate the specific amino acid that will be formed there, or the specific amino acid that will be linked to that particular codon. And the specific amino acid that will be linked to that codon is phenylalanine, okay? Phenylalanine. So phenylalanine will only be attached or linked to this particular codon TTT. Lysine will only be linked to this particular codon called AAA. I hope that we are together up to there, but I don't mind repeating because these may sound a little bit intricate. If you don't follow closely, I may end up losing you.